Would you just feel that breeze? Can you imagine that we've done this for so many years? Built shrines, temples, just like these, just like this specific one, to honor the natural laws of our earth. So simple, isn't it? To honor the simple laws of the universe. To honor the natural rhythms that we perceive just by observation. As you say in philosophy, empiric evidence. So simple. That is not so far from what astrology does. Astrology does that via a different method, but the truth is, it works to achieve the same results through a similar tool, which is your critical thinking. When you live close to nature, you basically look around and you understand cycles, cyclicity, patterns. You understand seasons. You understand the behavior of things, plants, animal, the sun, the wind, the rains, your natural state, what happens to your body when you eat X, Y, and Z. Astrology provides the same conclusions, but just looking up instead of being looking down. You look up, you study the sky, you study the astral bodies, you study their behavior through years and years and centuries of looking at one same star, one same planet, its motion, its cycles, everything. When you look up and start forming those lists of characteristics of a certain astral body, you then understand that those characteristics link to a particular topic on Earth. So instead of looking down and then connecting it to what happens upwards, you look upwards to understand what's happening down. You look at Jupiter and how the way its storms are formed, and you understand the cyclicity and the behavior of storms down here. You also understand that Jupiter is a planet that, by receiving the energy of the sun, it creates its own storms. So to say, it develops itself from the outside to the inwards most secret part of you. And we are like that when it comes to society. Therefore, centuries later, after studying Jupiter, we understand that that's how a human perceives society and develops personality through society. We go to school, we go to our jobs, we go to our daily lives, and we take all that experience that's around you and you make it your own. You drink from those experiences. You are Greek. You've only had Greek food. But one day you travel and you perceive food from Turkey or from Romania or from anywhere else. And then that becomes your experience. That becomes your personality. You perceive that you enjoy these foods. You enjoy these experiences. You enjoy this exchange. That becomes you. This is a very simple example of how our brains had to function in a very critical way to understand how to connect things before. That is the beauty of being connected to Earth, something that Venus and Taurus tells us a lot about. And slowly, on this age of Aquarius, we're coming back to that, to a very abstract thinking and to a very critical way of thinking. A critical observation, more like. Instead of saying, oh, the sky is blue. Okay, no. Why is the sky blue? That is the Aquarius style of thinking, and that is the Aquarius style of behaving. Anybody that had any Aquarius children wouldn't know what I'm talking about. They were just, why everything? Like, there's a why phase for every child when they're like 3, 4, and for an Aquarius person that extends until they're 90 or something. There is a why to absolutely everything. So, astrology comprises with solely that. Observe things, take their patterns, make a list of their characteristics, understand how they behave, and then immediately connect that these things are linked to other things. The way that Venus is such a volcanic planet, such an eruptive planet, is a perfect gateway to understand how our organ systems function. We're constantly purging. Venus is linked to Libra, to kidneys, to your lower back, to the place where you make decisions. If you look into Venus and their lava streams, everything is chaotic, everything is on fire, everything is a purge. The atmosphere is so filled with sulfur that you can't breathe. That's why it shines so much. The atmosphere is so dense in gas that the sun hits and it looks like it's dark. But the truth is, if you perceive the functioning of your kidneys, it's probably very similar to what happens in Venus, figuratively speaking, of course. When you look into the process by which you make decisions, it's a very Venusian process, is it not? We brainstorm, we think, we literally fry the popcorn of our brain to come up with pros and cons, and then eventually come to a decision. This is the beauty of astrology. And then, each Venus of each person, of each birth chart, can be in a different element: fire, earth, air, water. It can be in one of the 12 signs: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. And then it has a specific house. So you have an element that describes the behavior of your decision making, since we're talking about Venus, because we're nature. You have a sign that explains what are your most natural attitudes. Are you going to go inwards or outwards? Are you going to be expressive or critical thinking? Are you going to be emotional or logical? Are you going to be pragmatic or just effusive? And then you have the house, the place where your Venus, your decision making is more effortless, is more fluid. Knowing this for Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Chiron, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Lilith, knowing the detail of yourself through your birth chart is actually what helps you navigate the sea of life in a flowy motion. You just understand that you have a Mercury and Gemini in a Scorpio degree. You learn like that. It's super easy for you. You're both very logical and pragmatic, but you're also very visual. So just by looking at an image, you perceive what you're studying. You don't need more than 5 minutes a day. Or you're someone that has, let's say, a Mercury in Capricorn, in a degree of Leo, will enjoy taking time, reading books, underlining things, watermarking things, making scribbles and notes, and creating PowerPoints to study. Each of us has a different frame. Each of us has a different matrix. Your birth chart solely rises with the idea that when you know your matrix well, you live. When you know your birth chart well, when you know the foundation of you live in a more serene state. That is the beauty of empiric evidence caused by astrology. So that is the greatest feeling in the world, isn't it? How amazing it feels when someone really understands you. Someone gets you. Don't we all look that? I remember when I started my career in astrology, I had this realization, I was saying this to people all the time. Everything that every human needs is love and understanding. Everybody wants to be loved and everybody wants to love. And everybody wants to be understood. And in that process, you want to understand other people because you grasp how good it feels to yourself. Astrology comprises solely with that. It gives you a 2D circular chart with symbols written in a secret ancient language that you can learn through mysterious ways. Well, not so mysterious anymore, thank God. Or maybe. And just by studying that chart, just by studying those graphics, you understand that you have your own way of doing things, which sometimes it's good to go and explore for yourself. There's a beauty to that, of course. But some things that are more confusing in ourselves, that are more confusing to our personas, it may actually feel amazing that we get that sense of orientation. We get a guideline, a limelight, a beacon to chase, to follow, a path. And then you understand why, you do milk and then cereal. And everybody says it's cereal and then milk. And you say, well, this is me. I like doing it this way. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because that's the power of not just understanding others. That is the power of feeling understood by yourself. That becomes a magnet. You propagate that wherever you go. You see that in the most confident people. That's what's so attractive about them. What makes men and women attractive? Well, it's just being comfortable in being yourself. How do you do that? By knowing yourself. How do you do that? Well, astrology is a way. When you feel you know yourself so well that you understand why you do things, even the things you don't like so much, that builds confidence. It gives you the foundation of, this is me. This is me. This is how I want to experience life. This is how I want to experience emotion, and this is how I want to experience thinking. This is how I want to experience trying. It just makes you feel very good in your own skin. Don't you want that? Who doesn't want that anyway? So that is the challenge, the proposal that astrology invites you to. Understanding, studying, and knowing your own birth chart so well that you just agree to a more serene and flowable existence on this one incarnation you have on Earth.